Hey guys, my name's Trevor Merkling. I'm a sophomore here at Missouri State University, and I just thought I'd talk to you guys about my testimony here for just a little bit. I grew up in Houston, Missouri, and I grew up like a lot of people do. I grew up in a Christian home. We didn't go to church very often. I was really involved in sports. My dad, he coached me all throughout my life, and like I said, I was raised a Christian, but when I got into my middle school years, I really started to stray from that life. I still believed in God, but as far as the life that Christ teaches about and that the Bible outlines, I really took a turn away from that and really went down a dark alley. I uh, I started doing things that I thought was cool that all my friends were doing. I started to really conform to the crowd because I thought it was cool and because I thought that that's what life was about and that would bring me the most happiness. And that continued up until my sophomore year of high school. I was working with my dad, and we were driving back to another small town that he owned a gas station in, and he was just asking me questions, you know how dads do, and then he asked me a really deep question regarding the relationship I was in at the time, and I lied about it. I just told him a lie, um, but it really hit me hard. I had the most like unnatural feeling that I just made a big mistake. That I really should tell him the truth, which wasn't normal. Um, but it just kept nagging at me, and I was like, well, I can't tell him that. But ultimately, I did, within the next 30 minutes, and just the guilt that was relieved from telling him about a mistake that I had made was tremendous, and it really opened my eyes to see that what the power of confessing your faults does, because throughout the whole time I was straying away from God, I knew that God's way was the right way to live and that I would be happier, but I just wasn't ready to give up the pleasures and desires of this world yet. But at that time, I realized that, wow, this is how this is how God forgives. This is what it feels like to confess your faults to God. Well, I want this. This is so much more than any of these things that I'm trying to fill my life with to make me happy. And so that day, in a gas station bathroom, I actually gave my life to Christ. I accepted Him as my Savior. I accepted the sacrifice um, that He died for me on the cross to make up for the wrongs that I had done so I could have a relationship with God and live with Him forever in heaven. And just the ability to just let all of my mistakes go and just get a restart on my life was just, it's just unspeakable. The difference that has been in my life, I was able to, with God's power, I was able to mend the relationships that I had broken, that I had hurt while I was pursuing my own selfish desires. Um, I was able to correct mistakes that I had made. God led me to become a lot better of a person, a better character. I was able to treat more people with respect. I was more respectable. I became a better leader because I found confidence in who I was in God and who God saw me as and not what other people saw me as. And just having the ability to serve a greater cause than just myself is amazing, and Christ was most certainly the difference.